triglycerides. There's a lot of confusion on these topics, and we're going to set it straight tonight. Right, Cyrus?
100%. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you guys are joining us today. Cholesterol metabolism is a very misunderstood subject, unfortunately, and we're going to try and clear up all of the confusion so that you guys have a really good idea as to how you can drop your cholesterol, drop your blood pressure, and also get some incredible diabetes benefits at the same time.
Absolutely. So let us know in the chat box where you're coming from. I'm in Santa Monica. Where are you, Cyrus?
I'm actually in Indonesia right now. My wife, Kylie, and I have been traveling through Bali, or through Indonesia, and we're currently in Bali right now. And we're actually going to be getting on a plane in a couple hours to fly back to the United States. But this is it's been quite a journey out here. I love this place.
I hear the mangoes are pretty good.
As you can see by this pile of mango carcasses that fell victim to my mouth earlier today.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, the mangoes out here, they taste like flowers. They're unbelievable. I've never had anything like it before. I mean, I thought the Costa Rican mangoes were good. I thought the Mexican mangoes were good, and then I tasted these, and I was like, whoa! It's like a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. You're inspiring me to try and get over there soon. Just eat some mangoes.
No, I would actually say you got to get over here to eat the durian.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's like one of Robbie's favorite fruits. It tends to be a little bit higher in fat, which is, a little bit frustrating. But Kylie has also been eating durian, and she's been loving it too. It's a very, very tasty one.
It's awesome. So we have Valerie from Colorado Springs. Jose says Costa Rica mangoes are huge. As you're coming in, vote on the poll. Let us know what type of diabetes you're living with. Maybe a loved one has diabetes. Maybe you're a healthcare provider and come here to learn. Let us know in the chat box, and we'll report the results in a little bit here.
Yeah, looks like we got okay, so today, if anybody is here from Bali today, then you get an extra high five.
Stop by and grab some extra mangoes.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, God.
We got Peter from Georgia, Noel from Rochester, New York, Marty from Palm Springs. Welcome, guys. Super glad to have you here. So far, it looks like we have about 30% of you with type 2 diabetes and 15% of you with prediabetes, and then 10% with type 1. And then we have about a quarter of you guys don't have any diabetes at all. So it's very interesting to see. Most of you actually in the room don't have diabetes. And I'd imagine you're probably interested in learning about cholesterol metabolism because it's related to diabetes, but more importantly, because eating a low-fat plant-based whole food diet is one of the most powerful things that you can do to drop your cholesterol. And we'll get into all the details of that today for sure.
Absolutely. And, we've had a pretty strong type 1 contingent recently, and we'd love to see that here. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's always great to see that. So it's a total of 225 of you guys in the room right now, which is awesome. We'll probably expect a little bit more over 300 people today. So glad to see you guys here already. And we can get started whenever you're ready, Robbie.
Let's do it. Let's get it started.
All right. You want to end that poll?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we can get right into the heart of the presentation.
Wisconsin, go Packers. Man, I was hoping they would lose. I'm a Vikings fan. They won last night with a field goal kick.
Can you see my screen?
We sure can. It's coming in clear. You can get rid of that thing at the bottom that says stop. There you go. There you go. All right, perfect.
Perfect. Is that better?
Yep, that's great.
Okay, so here we go. Today we're going to be talking about cholesterol. We're going to get to the details about the science underlying triglycerides, LDL, and HDL, and give you guys a really good understanding of what actually controls your cholesterol in your blood. We'll cover a number of things, as you can see on the screen here. The first thing we're going to talk about is whether the cholesterol in your food actually affects the cholesterol in your blood, because there's a lot of people who say yes and there's a lot of people who say no. We'll talk about the difference between large fluffy LDL and small dense LDL and whether or not it's important to pay attention to those two. We'll teach you that in the panel conference, and the next time you go to the doctor and they say, hey, this is your food panel, a good understanding of what that actually means. And then we'll talk about HDL. A lot of people put a huge focus on trying to raise HDL cholesterol, and I'm going to show you exactly why that's actually not that important. And then we're going to talk about triglycerides too, because triglycerides sometimes go up eating a low-fat plant-based whole food diet, and we'll tell you exactly why that's happening. So I'm sure most of you already know who I am. I'll give you the short story here. My name is Cyrus. I've been living with type 1 diabetes now for 17 years. When I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I was told to eat a low carbohydrate diet, so I did. I did that for about a year, and it made my life terrible. Blood glucose all over the place. My body hurt. I couldn't exercise. I got depressed. I got anxious, and it wasn't very fun. I transitioned to a low-fat plant-based whole food diet after 1 year of living with diabetes, and I saw tremendous improvements in my blood glucose, and my insulin use dropped by 40%. So I started eating literally boatloads of carbohydrate-rich whole foods every day, and my insulin use came down, my blood glucose became more controllable, and I started to feel like $1,000,000. So over the course of the next 5 years, I put myself back to graduate school to go get a PhD in nutritional biochemistry so that I could understand the ins and outs of cholesterol metabolism and blood glucose control. And in that process, I was able to really understand that what the diabetes world says about diabetes is not always true. And, you know, eating a low-fat diet is actually more powerful than eating a low-carb diet, even though eating a low-carb diet is the norm. Here I am today. I inject about 25 units of insulin per day, which is considered a physiologically normal or physiologically safe amount of insulin to inject on a daily basis. And my A1Cs are consistently in the non-diabetic range.
Okay, my name is Robbie Barbero, and like Cyrus said, you probably know most about our journey so far, so I'll keep it brief as well. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2000, so I'm coming up on 20 years now. And I, of course, just like Cyrus, was told to follow a low carbohydrate diet. That's what you find out. That's what you start doing. Tried different things like a raw food diet with Gabriel Cousins, which was basically a plant-based ketogenic diet. Tried the Weston A. Price Foundation, several different things. Nothing improved my diabetes health. Actually, some of those things made it worse and maybe more insulin resistant. As soon as I adopted a low-fat, plant-based, whole food diet, very high in fruit, as you can see in this picture, a huge plate of figs. Yes, I would eat that entire plate of figs in one sitting. I saw my diabetes health improve dramatically. My insulin sensitivity has improved by 600%. More specifically, my carbohydrate to insulin ratio has improved by 600%. I feel amazing every day. Current A1C, 5.3%. I'm active every day, and I have more energy than ever before. And tonight, I'm just excited to have you guys with us. We're covering a ton of important information, but we also have a huge reveal at the end. So make sure to stick with us. We got something important to share with you.
100%. Okay, so the first question we're going to ask is, what foods actually cause high cholesterol? Why does your cholesterol level go up? The foods that are if you look in the research and look for foods that are most closely associated with or even causational in increasing your blood cholesterol, what you will find is that there are two main components and a third component that actually do increase your cholesterol. The first main component is called saturated fat. When you eat a diet that contains a lot of saturated fat causes your cholesterol level to go up. Secondarily, when you eat a diet that contains a significant amount of cholesterol, the cholesterol in your food causes your cholesterol in your blood to go up. And third, diets that contain a significant amount of animal protein also cause your cholesterol to go up. So if I had to rank order them, I would actually rearrange these things you see on the screen. Number 1 is saturated fat, number 2 is cholesterol, and number 3 is animal protein. Most people don't actually know this, but this is very important. Saturated fat is the most potent trigger or the most potent influencer of increased blood cholesterol. Most people think that cholesterol increases your cholesterol, which is a true statement, but saturated fat is more powerful. So foods that contain saturated fat are things like cheese, fish, eggs, red meat. White meat is also cholesterol rich. I'm sorry, is also saturated fat rich. And so anytime you encounter saturated fat in your diet, that can dramatically influence your cholesterol level. Okay. In addition to that, eating cholesterol-rich foods can also increase your blood cholesterol. Okay. Now, cholesterol is only found in animal foods. It is technically speaking, cholesterol is also found in plant foods, but it's found in 1/100th or 1/1000th of the concentration. So from a biological perspective, it's there, but it's just very, 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 very small. So that's why people canonically say cholesterol is only found in animal foods and it's not found in plant foods. And the idea here is that when you eat animal-based foods, you're eating saturated fat and cholesterol together. And when you eat a plant-based diet, you actually are eating much less saturated fat and effectively zero cholesterol. So let's dig a deep dive into cholesterol here. Cholesterol is mainly found in red meat, in white meat, in dairy products like milk, cheese, sour cream, butter. It's also found in fish, whether we're talking about tuna, mackerel, trout, salmon, things like that, or whether we're talking about shellfish like lobsters and crab. And cholesterol is also found in eggs. It's also found in the yolk of eggs, not in the white of eggs. So these are your most potent cholesterol containing foods. So if any of these foods are in your diet right now, then just know that the more of them that you put into your mouth, the more the stronger the increase in blood cholesterol will be in you. Okay. Now, in addition to saturated fat and in addition to cholesterol, animal protein also causes high cholesterol. Okay. And there are research papers that show that eating animal protein independent of saturated fat and independent of cholesterol can increase your blood cholesterol. Dr. T. Hong Campbell, the author of the China study, has done some research on this topic, and he's shown that simply adding an isolated animal protein isolate into your diet can increase your blood cholesterol, independent again of saturated fat and independent of cholesterol. Okay, so what he says here is that serum cholesterol, which is cholesterol in your blood, increased when people were fed casein and decreased with soy protein. So when fed a soy protein diet or soy protein in their diet, their cholesterol decreased. When fed casein, cholesterol increased. Okay, and this is actually true not only for casein and for soy protein, but if you take 12 different kinds of animal and plant-based proteins, okay, then what you'll find is that every time you feed an animal protein, you actually elevate cholesterol levels. And every time you feed a plant protein, there is a drop in cholesterol. Okay, so I said earlier this is in people. I lied. This is actually in rabbits. So does this fully translate to humans? The answer is there's a very high degree of similarity between rodent and small animal physiology, and as there is with human physiology. So the answer is yes, this is very translatable to human studies as well. Okay. Researchers knew as far back as 1941, not 1941. So we're talking, what is that? 80 years ago, that casein, which is again an animal-based protein that you found in dairy products, is 5-fold more atherogenic, meaning that it is 5-fold more likely to cause atherosclerosis than is soy protein when fed over a 6-month period. Okay, so this is something that the research world doesn't really know that much about. T. Colin Campbell has elucidated this, and there's also many other researchers that know this, but as a generalizable statement, most people in the research world don't even know this themselves. Now, people, especially in the low carbohydrate ketogenic world will often tell you that the amount of LDL in your blood does not actually matter. The reason they say this is because when you transition to eating a ketogenic or low carbohydrate diet, your LDL value usually increases. So you get a lot of improvements in your total cholesterol, you get improvements in your triglyceride values, sometimes your blood pressure drops, but yet your LDL concentration goes up. And so what the low carbohydrate world has done is they've come up with some kind of defense mechanism against that. And they say, okay, well, let's see if that's actually important. And what they tell people is that as long as the LDL in your blood is moving towards these things called large, fluffy LDL particles and away from small, dense LDL particles, then don't worry, everything is fine. Right? Now, you'll see that there's sort of two different types of LDL particles. You get the large, fluffy LDL particles that I show on the left, and then you have these small, dense LDL particles that you see here on the right. And researchers know that small, dense LDL particles are more dangerous than the large LDL particles. In other words, the small, dense LDL particles are more likely to trigger a cardiac event than are the large LDL particles. And so what they say is, since these are more dangerous, let's make sure that your LDL is shifting towards this population of large, fluffy LDL particles. And as long as that happens, then everything is fine. Here's the problem with that. Even if, let's go backwards one slide, even if your LDL particle count is moving from small, dense LDL particles towards large, fluffy LDL particles, this is generally a movement in the correct direction, the total amount of LDL in your blood is the most important predictor of a future cardiac event. I'll say that one more time. The total amount of LDL cholesterol in your blood is the most important predictor of a future cardiac event. And the reason that we know this is because LDL has a central role in the initiation, in the development, and the progression of atherosclerosis and a heart attack. Okay? Research in over 1 million people, 1 million people over more than 100 different studies have demonstrated that the total amount of LDL in your blood is the most important predictor of a future cardiac event. And we know this. We've known this for a very, very long time. If you look in the research, you'll find articles like this. And what this article in particular is showing is that large LDL particles increase your risk for a cardiac event by 31%, as you can see right here. And small, dense LDL particles increase your risk for a cardiac event by 44%. So it is a true statement that small, dense LDL particles are more dangerous because they have a higher risk for the development of a cardiac event than do the large, fluffy particles. But what's important to understand is that both the small and the large particles increase your overall. So it doesn't matter if you're moving from the small end to the large fluffy, so drive your risk 40 or 31%. The fact of the matter is, more LDL means higher risk for cardiac event, period, end of story. So, in other words, small LDL particle increase your risk for atherosclerosis by 44%, and the large LDL particles raise your risk by 31%. I don't know about you, but I don't want to raise my risk by any percent. I want to drop my risk. So people tell you that as long as the large LDL, don't worry, you're safe. The answer is wrong, not even close to correct. Your overall LDL particle count. When you do that, you are then more protected against cardiac disease. Another way to think about this is that regardless of the size, whether they're small, whether they're large, it doesn't really matter. It does not matter. LDL particles increase your risk for atherosclerosis. Period. End of story. You want less LDL to move it from small dense to large fluffy. Yeah. I'm cutting out Robbie. Am I coming in?
Yeah, you definitely breaking up. It was crystal clear for a very good chunk of time, and only small bouts of garbling. But then there was like a sequence, maybe the past 30, 45 seconds.
Okay.
So, but
You want to?
back to clear. So, I mean, I think it just might be a minor glitch.
Okay. Tell me in the chat box right now if you can hear me. If my voice is coming in nice and clear, then great. If not, we always have a backup, and we can switch over to a different audio source. So,
Yeah,
if you can,
you're very clear now. So let's give it another
okay.
shot.
Okay, cool. So let me just go backwards 30 seconds here. The crux of this argument is very simple. Regardless of the size, whether we're talking about large, fluffy LDL or whether we're talking about small, dense LDL, it does not matter. All LDL particles are atherogenic. All LDL particles will increase your risk for atherosclerosis. Your goal is to reduce your LDL particle count. When you do that, you are protected against the development of heart disease. But if you're just moving from one type of LDL particle to another type of LDL particle, that is not good enough. Now, here's some very interesting research that actually Dr. Greger has pointed out. He's actually shown that inside of your blood, you can create what are known as cholesterol crystals. And these cholesterol crystals actually can they can rupture the inside of blood vessels. So people who have a high amount of cholesterol in their blood actually end up creating these cholesterol crystals. So these occur when there's what's called a supersaturated or too much cholesterol inside of your blood. And when this occurs, you see these sort of like really jagged formations occur. And when these cholesterol crystals happen, they can actually rupture arterial plaque that's built up over the course of time that can then lead to a stroke or a blood clot. So these cholesterol crystals are extremely dangerous, and they happen in people who have high cholesterol and increasing cholesterol over the course of time. So take a look at Bob as an example. Okay, so Bob adopted the Mastering Diabetes program, and he did it because he wanted to lose weight primarily. So you can see him here on the left-hand side. He's grossly overweight. He was obese, and he basically wanted to become lighter, and he wanted to attain his ideal body weight. So he adopted the Mastering Diabetes program. His fasting blood glucose went from being 286, which is very, very type 2, very high and classified as type 2 diabetes. 286 all the way down to 90 in an 8-month period. He lost 100 pounds, and his A1C fell by 4%. So from a diabetes perspective, really good job. But as a side effect of this, his total cholesterol fell by 100 points, and his LDL cholesterol fell from 155, which is elevated, down to 83, and his blood pressure also came down very nicely. So not only did his diabetes health improve, not only did he lose 100 pounds, but his total cholesterol, his LDL cholesterol, and his blood pressure all normalized, and he's a very happy camper at this point. So the next time they give you this lipid and I'm going to teach you so you guys okay. So let's understand what inside your body, many types of cholesterol, many sizes are the first type of particle to care about is this thing called LDL. Maybe that's switch over.
Okay, so yeah, let's go to our backup audio source here. No problem.
Okay.
So, let me ring them.
Or actually, no, you don't. Your computer's up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I wonder, what do I have to do? I have to turn my mic off?
Turn your phone back on. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Turn your microphone off on your computer.
I did.
Oh.
It's already up. All right, let's go back.
What about Dialpad? Why does Dialpad work? Because we're talking to somebody else?
What?
When we do the phone calls with people, that works, but I guess it's because it's a third person.
Yeah. When you call somebody as a Q&A, what do you do? Call them on Dialpad.
Yeah.
You want to try calling me on Dialpad?
So let me think through this. Why are we getting feedback when I have the phone on? Okay. Well, here we go. Let's try Dialpad. All right. We will get this working shortly. 745. Thanks for your patience, guys. Let's test this out, and we'll see if we can get our backup option going here. Glenda says it's great information. I can't wait. So we're gonna get it working here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No, what's happening? All right, let's go back to normal audio, and I think whether that's just intuitive and crafty. Yeah. All right, people, we're back. Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you. So I think we just have bouts of greatness, and let's hope that that's going to last longer.
Yeah. Problem happens. So I'll just go back, and then if at some point there's, I get garbled, just say something in the chat box. Okay, can you see my screen one more time?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, cool. So back up here. There are multiple types of cholesterol particles to pay attention to. The first one is called LDL that you see right here on the top left of your screen. This stands for low density lipoprotein. This is the type of particle that is most dangerous for heart disease that I talked about earlier. In addition to that, you have the next particle, which is called your VLDL particle, right here shown in green. Okay, and it turns out that the VLDL particle actually becomes an LDL particle. So actually moving from the right hand of the screen over to the left hand of the screen. Inside of the VLDL particle and inside the LDL particle, what actually is determining how big they are and how dangerous they can be is what's inside of them. So,
okay, Cyrus, I think so. You're garbled again, but I think here's the solution. I think the solution is for you to leave the webinar. Like, just leave the webinar, and because when we call people and we do these phone calls, they're not. And we always tell them to turn everything off. So I'll just call you as if I'm having a phone call, and I'm going to put you on speakerphone, and you'll just be talking.
Perfect. Good.
All right. So I'll call you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Boom. Okay. So reconnecting. So let me get to. Okay, guys, hold on. This one's gonna work. We're gonna get this to work here. I was reconnecting there for a moment, and let me get to the slide Cyrus was on. I gotta share my screen here. Okay, it's connecting. All right, so in a moment here, we'll get Cyrus on speakerphone, and I will share the slides on my screen, and we will proceed. So, sometimes the internet fairies are just not with us, and that's okay. We're gonna work through this here. So, thank you for your patience, and we'll get this taken care of. Now, if we go to let's see here. 1 second. All right. Let me try this again. Okay. Can you hear me, Cyrus?
Okay.
Yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
Your side, bro.
It keeps on saying reconnecting on WhatsApp. Man, appreciate you guys' patience. we'll get the internet working here. Let's see here. Let me at least get my screen share working. Why don't we share screen? All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so this sounds actually quite clear so far. But I lost you again. Patricia writes in the chat box, Tuesday is not your friend, but Linda writes, never give up. And that's the attitude that I like. Never give up, okay? Thank you, Linda. We're not going to give up here. We're going to get this working. Cyrus, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Robbie, I can hear you over and over, but I feel like you cannot hear me.
Yeah, you go in and out. But right now I can hear you. This is the longest run we've had so far. I think like 3 seconds.
Okay, can you share your screen?
Yes.
And go back to that slide that I was on, and then just pick up from there.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Share, and then I'm going to go into slideshow. Play from current slide. Okay, so it didn't work. Share. Okay, so I can't see the chat box anymore, but check with Kylie if people can see my screen. You still with me, Cyrus? I got nothing. Can't hear you. Bummer. Let's see here. Okay, so let me stop sharing for the time being. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have Cyrus come back here into the software, and we're gonna give it another shot. But Glenda, I saw Glenda say like eat a mango. I think that is a great piece of advice. I'm glad you guys could see the screen, so that's good. We got that working. And Kylie, bring a cat to save the day. That's too cute. Too cute. Appreciate you guys having some fun with us. We'll see what we can do here. And hopefully you've come back, Cyrus. It's like a little bit of a reboot. Let's see if this works.
Okay, sorry about this, guys. This is so frustrating. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right, so we're back here. Like I was saying, what determines the size and the makeup of these particles is how much of the stuff inside of them. They contain cholesterol and triglycerides. Those are the two main things on the inside. And then phospholipids are these things on the outside. All I want you to think about right now is the amount of cholesterol inside its size and what it is. So LDL cholesterol is considered quote unquote bad. LDL cholesterol is to deliver cholesterol to tissues. So cholesterol goes from your blood and into tissues like your heart, like your muscles, like your liver, like your brain. Okay? HDL does the exact opposite. HDL takes cholesterol that's inside of tissues and moves it back into your blood. So you can think of HDL as being a cholesterol vacuum cleaner versus LDL as being a cholesterol delivery mechanism. Now, when you get your fasting lipid panel, you get four things. You get the first thing is called your total cholesterol. Your second is called your triglycerides. Your third is your LDL cholesterol. And your fourth is your HDL cholesterol. Like we talked about earlier, the LDL cholesterol is your best indicator of your heart disease risk. So this is without question the most important thing in your fasting lipid. In addition to that, you want to pay attention to your total cholesterol and your triglyceride value. I'll show you why your HDL cholesterol is actually not that important. Okay. When you eat a diet that increases your LDL cholesterol, your HDL is likely to also increase. When you eat a diet that drops your LDL cholesterol, your HDL cholesterol is also likely to decrease. Now, many people find that when they eat a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, that their HDL cholesterol actually goes down. So in the chat box, tell me if you have noticed this. You started eating a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, and your HDL cholesterol actually fell. If that is true, write the word yes in the chat box.
Okay,
And
let us know in the chat box, guys.
tell me what you see.
If you saw that your HDL cholesterol level decreased when you followed a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Kathleen says yes, yes, yes. Stan says yes. A lot of yeses, Cyrus.
Okay, lots of yeses, a couple of no's. Okay, so most people get freaked out when they see this because they, oh my God, my HDL cholesterol is going down. My doctor is now telling me that I have to have fish oil in order to increase my HDL cholesterol. Okay, let me tell you why that's not important. Okay, the reason your HDL cholesterol is going down is because you have less LDL cholesterol. In the chat box, tell me if when you adopted a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, your LDL cholesterol went down. If that is true, then write the word yes in the chat box now.
Okay, let us know. You adopted a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. Your HDL went down, but did your LDL also go down? So let us know in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. I saw a couple no's.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Deborah says no. Ed says yes, but only a little. LDL went down. Yes, both went down. Someone says not enough. Yes. There's a little more no's here.
Okay, so for the most part, what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of yeses, there's a couple of no's, and then there's a couple of people that are saying yes, but I want to do that. All right. Let's go back to what we right. There's two types of cholesterol. There's LDL and HDL. LDL delivers cholesterol to tissues, and is considered quote-unquote dangerous. And HDL sucks cholesterol out of tissues and is therefore considered good cholesterol. Now, just think about this. If there's less LDL in your blood, that means that your risk for heart disease has gone down. If there's less LDL in your blood, then there's a reduced need for HDL because there's less stuff going into tissues, therefore there's less of a need to pull it back out of tissues. Does that make sense? Okay? Less, Neil Barnard said, he says there's less garbage Therefore, there's less of a need for garbage trucks. Right? So when your LDL cholesterol goes down, then your biological requirement for HDL also goes down. Similarly, if your LDL cholesterol goes up because you are eating a diet that is increasing your cholesterol level, then your biological requirement for HDL also goes up. So what's important to understand is that your hormones generally move in the same direction at the same time. What cardiologists and physicians make the mistake of doing is they say, oh, I don't really want to have your LDL, congratulations, down, but your HDL is now too low, and now I want to fix that problem. But in reality, no, that's not that big of a deal, because all that really matters in this situation is that your HDL, your LDL has gone down. When that has gone down, then your HDL does not really matter as much. So less bad cholesterol means you need less LDL means you need less HDL. But more if your HDL goes down too much, as long as your LDL is dropping below that threshold of 100, then you are protected. Hearing. Yeah. Robbie,
Yeah, I can barely hear you. It's hard to make. It's definitely in a rough patch of the audio segment right now. There are definitely moments where it's clear, but it's not. It's pretty inconsistent right now.
Right now.
No, like I can make sense of it, but it's garbled.
All right, say something just past 30 seconds, and then I'll take over.
Okay, so you want me to talk for 30 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, we have some good questions coming in, so that's good. And Gary's asking what the big reveal is, so we will get to that eventually. Helen says that we should try Skype. Unfortunately, if you've ever used Skype, like Skype is even worse. That's unfortunate. So let's see what we got here.
I'm just gonna start talking.
I think at this point, guys, the best thing we can do here is we're gonna reschedule this.
No. Let's not do that.
All right.
Let's keep going because we can do this. There's only rough patches for a little while, and then it goes away, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to try and skip through some slides and
yeah.
You know, but
okay. So coming in.
You were clear for a second, and then you got glitchy.
The screen right now. Can you see my?
Yeah, I see your screen. How to become heart disease proof. This is pretty. I mean, I can tell you guys this slide. All right, this one's very simple. Can you all see the screen? How to become heart disease proof. It's very clear. It's actually quite simple. And Cyrus, you correct me if I say anything that's not meant to be communicated here, but if your total cholesterol is 150 milligrams per deciliter or less, you're good. If it's less than that, okay, you want to get your triglycerides 150 or below 150. LDL, you want to get it below 100. And the key point here that we are bringing to you guys tonight, which is confusing, your HDL is not important. That is the key. Correct, Cyrus?
Yes. So your HDL cholesterol is not important. Only if the other three things are already true. If your
there you go.
And your triglycerides is less than 150, and your LDL cholesterol is less than 100, then your HDL cholesterol is not something I want you to pay attention to.
Okay. All right. So that was a little bit garbled, but guys, the key thing Cyrus is saying here is when all three of those meet these requirements, the LDL, the triglycerides, the total cholesterol, at that point, you do not need to stress about your HDL being low. You don't need so many garbage trucks when you have less garbage. That's what's happening.
exactly right. So,
All right, so this is. I mean, we're going to show you guys some more examples. Just explaining that what we're saying is actually true and works. This is Jason. Jason was a member of our a small group coaching program, and he was living with type 1 diabetes. He lost. This was in a very short period of time. He lost 19 pounds. His carbohydrate intake went from 40 to 250. Okay, dramatic increase when his total insulin went down. Okay. But look at that LDL cholesterol change. And this is when he followed the low-fat, plant-based whole food diet and was able to eat whole carbohydrate-rich foods in large quantities. I remember Jason, he was a very funny guy. And he said that, when he just started the program, his first exercise of holding an apple, just holding it, that was scary for him. He was like, I can almost feel the carbohydrates getting in my system just holding the apple. It was very funny. But he had a fantastic turnaround, and you can absolutely do the same thing.
Okay, so is my audio any clearer right now?
Yeah, you're good. Let's go for it on this one.
All right, so the next thing that we'll talk about is triglycerides, because people are often confused about what is happening to the triglyceride values on a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. Now, your triglyceride value, anything to remember is that your triglyceride value in your blood is a reflection of the status of your liver, the health of your liver. So, if your liver is insulin resistant, meaning if your liver has accumulated a significant amount of fat over the course of time, if your liver is acting in a sluggish manner, quote unquote sluggish manner, then regardless of the type of carbohydrate that you eat, whether it is whole or refined, your liver will convert a lot of that carbohydrate into fatty acids, and it will also increase the amount of glucose that is putting in your blood. So what that means is that you're eating carbohydrate-rich foods, even if they come from fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes like we recommend, and your liver will increase your triglyceride value and increase your blood glucose. Because again, the problem here is that your liver is insulin resistant. What that means is that over the course of time, your triglyceride value in your blood will increase and your glucose value in your blood will increase. So you adopted a diet and then seen your triglycerides going up and your glucose going up, it's because of your liver. Now, if you're in the second situation, insulin sensitive liver, which means that your liver is not does not have a significant amount of fatty acids accumulated over the course of time, then when you eat either whole or refined carbohydrates, your liver will secrete a normal amount of fatty acids and a normal amount of glucose. What that means is that your triglyceride value will come down and your glucose will come down. Again, it's a reflection of the health of your liver.
Hey, Cyrus, one thing worth trying is try and turn off your camera. That could potentially put a less of a load on the internet. So if there's no camera, there you go. Let's try that. But I hope this is making sense here, guys. I think that the slides said a lot there. And what we could hear of Cyrus was important. It's if you are severely insulin resistant, you start eating even whole carbohydrates, there can be some problems with triglycerides, but this can be addressed with patience and strategic modifications. Correct, Cyrus? Oh, can you hear us? Cyrus, we can't hear you. There's no audio coming through now. Let's see here.
Okay, can you hear me now, Ronnie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, all right, I'll be done talking in 2 minutes here, and then Robbie can take over.
Cool.
Can you see my?
Yeah, I can see Lindsay. I mean, I can tell you guys about Lindsay. She's another one of our small group coaching members. She had just a fantastic turnaround. Insulin use dropped. Again, another situation. Look at the carbohydrate increase, 175 to 500, while taking less total insulin. Look at her A1C, better blood glucose management, less insulin, more grams of total carbohydrate, and she lost weight, and she had a major improvement in her cholesterol levels, getting below that 150 mark. So really great turnaround for Lindsay.
Okay, so here's the question. Would you guys like to learn about an easy way that you can reduce your cholesterol and maximize your insulin sensitivity together? This is that sort of big reveal that we were talking about earlier, because
Okay, let us know in the chat box. So Glenda says yes, that she wants to hear about this. Does it? Even in the chat box, again, we talked about a big reveal. Again, I'm super sorry about the internet not being working in our favor today. So some of the information got a little bit hard to hear. But if you're interested in hearing about this reveal that we put together, we will continue sharing that. So Walt says yes. Peggy says yes. Jim says yes. So that's good. Hey, if one person says yes, that's enough for me. So we'll tell you about it. Can you hear me, Cyrus?
Yeah, can you switch over and share your screen, because my computer's being silly?
Yeah, let's share my screen. Let me get to the presentation. All right, so let's go to here. Share screen. Boom. Play from current slide. Okay. I'm just going to assume that you guys can see my screen. If that is not the case, you guys can, somebody will let me know. So we have, this is the Mastering Diabetes. This is a coaching program we've designed, okay? We have many different options, many different ways that people work with us, that people have paid thousands of dollars. And tonight we're going to be sharing especially our private clients, but tonight we're going to be sharing an option that is the most affordable option we have, and you can get the same incredible results that you just heard about during today's presentation. So when we talk about people eating more carbohydrate-rich food, we showed those testimonials of Lindsay, of Jason. Like, what did they eat? Foods like this, okay? Vibrant, colorful, delicious. A lot of people call these comfort foods that they've been told to avoid. They get to eat them in large quantities. So what exactly do you get to eat when you're following the Mastering Diabetes method? Let's go through it. Green light foods. These are foods that you're designed to eat in large quantities. When you're hungry until you're satisfied, you get to eat these foods. So fruits, that's mangoes, that is pears, peaches, persimmons, all fruits, okay? Starchy vegetables.
Robbie.
Yes. Yep, can you hear me? Do you see my screen? Your screen is black. Okay. Stop share. Don't know why. How about can you see my screen now? Now it's good. Okay. Sorry you couldn't see my screen, guys. You got to laugh sometimes at this stuff. But here we are, okay? This is important, all right? What exactly do you get to eat if you want to lower your cholesterol, lower your triglycerides, okay? You get to eat green light foods in large quantities. Again, when you're hungry until you're satisfied. Fruits, starchy vegetables. Yes, that's potatoes. That's yams. That's butternut squash, okay? Beans, lentils, and peas, all right? Those can be eaten in large quantities. Intact whole grains. That's things like farro, quinoa, millet, stuff like that. Leafy greens, non-starchy vegetables, herbs and spices, mushrooms, Those are all pretty much common sense. Everybody in the world of diabetes health and really in health in general is eat more of those foods. There's really no disagreement there. But those first four categories, fruits, starchy vegetables, beans, lentils, and peas, intact whole grains, we mean it when we say the more of those that you eat, you are going to be satisfied. You're going to stick with it. So that's why they're listed first. Yellow light foods, these are foods that are healthy. A lot of these are whole foods. But when you eat them in large quantities, you can develop insulin resistance. And that's not going to help when you're trying to lower your triglycerides and you have that, insulin resistant liver like Cyrus was showing you guys. So that's why these foods have to be eaten in moderation. Nuts, seeds, avocados, coconuts, olives, all whole foods, but they're all high in fat. Now, pastas and breads, even sprouted breads like Ezekiel, these are put in the yellow light category because they're processed. It's better to eat the original form that the bread was made out of, that the pasta was made out of. So if you can eat brown rice, that's going to be in the green light category. That is better than eating brown rice pasta. Same thing with the sprouted breads. The yellow light or the red light category, like Cyrus covered earlier in this presentation, these foods will raise your cholesterol. Dairy products, eggs, red and white meat, fish and shellfish, they're going to raise your cholesterol. Oils of any kind are going to be problematic, especially when it comes to reversing insulin resistance. Refined sugars, pastries, and breads, everybody knows those foods are not healthy. So just throwing them in there for clarity. Now, here's more pictures of the food we're talking about, just to be clear. It is large portions because these foods are full of water. They're full of fiber. They're very colorful, and they are delicious. So you have like a bean stew here. You have like a chickpea burger, fruit salads. There's some soup, some corn, some mango, some peaches, all kinds of good stuff. And we are one of the most fruit-friendly diabetes programs on the planet, probably the most. And you can see here pictures of vibrant, colorful fruits, mangoes, yes, things like grapes, things like kiwis, blueberries, all on our program. So again, the special reveal tonight is about our do-it-yourself program. And I'm going to explain to you how it works and how you can get access and get these results at really our most affordable price. So when you sign up for the do-it-yourself program, and we have a special discount code for you guys on the webinar tonight, you get unlimited access for lifetime. Okay, you can revisit the information at any point that you want to. You make your payments, it is yours for life. So you get to access this program on your desktop computer, on your tablet, on your mobile phone, on your laptop, anywhere you want to, you can access the program, and it's mobile friendly, works great on all devices. Now, we've broken it up into 6 modules. It's a 6-week program. You go through at your own pace. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. As soon as you master the lessons that are taught in each one, you move on to the next one. And it's very clear. You know when you have mastered the lesson and you can move on to the next one. And we're very, very passionate about people making slow changes because that is what's going to last for a lifetime. And it's also good for your microbiome as you adjust. So week 1, you're going to be understanding the science. You're going to be really getting going into the step-by-step approach. Then in week 2, you're going to start changing your breakfast. You are going to really learn about how to measure what's going on and how to objectively see, am I making improvements? What's happening? What's going on? So we're going to teach you that. And then in week 3, you start to learn about calorie density. You start to change your lunch. And these are really, really key points so you can actually stay satisfied and enjoy your food and really have the confidence to not fear things like potatoes and fruit and stuff like mangoes. So you get the education information you need there. And then, we really get into the details in this course. So it's brand new. They're all new videos that have not part of our other programs. So that's really fun. And we go into buying, preparing, and sharing food. So social situations, perfecting your dinner. That is one of the most challenging parts of transitioning. So this module goes through all the details to make sure you can master that. And then intermittent fasting, the science of not eating food and how to execute that when you are using medications, when you're insulin resistant, what to expect, how to get into the fast smoothly, how to get out of the fast smoothly, and what to expect when you are doing intermittent fast and the different options for how to do each version. So that's covered in that week 5. And then exercise. This is really important. And we are really passionate about helping people learn how to move their body in a way that's fun and sustainable. And so we're really masters at that and really proud of what we put together for helping you move your body and then understand how that's going to impact your insulin sensitivity, how it's going to impact your medication use, and really be prepared. So it's not scary. It's not dangerous. I know a lot of people, especially using insulin, are a little bit nervous about exercise. And some people who aren't exercising, you just don't move your body, it's a little bit scary. So we address those concerns in that week. And, going through the modules, following it step by step, it's laid out very clearly, one step at a time. You get to achieve effortless weight loss. When you understand the principles of calorie density and you apply them, you don't need to really stress about how the weight's going to come off. You get to just enjoy your food, enjoy your life, enjoy your movement, and it just comes off. We're all about a lower A1C forever, not for a short-term fix. We're going to cover that. It's going to be all about increasing your energy. And again, like I was saying, sleeping without fear, exercising without fear, that is what you will walk away with by going through this program. And there's a lot of complications that come along with diabetes and those who are trying to lower their cholesterol. Again, there's a whole laundry list of challenges that come along with people who are in that situation, and you might be that. So how to prevent and reverse things like fatty liver disease, neuropathy, how to make sure you don't get your limbs amputated, how to make sure, we've had people reverse stage 3 kidney disease. So stuff like that is possible for you, and that's covered in this program. Now I want to share a few more testimonials. This one right here, the woman says that I am not yet where I want to be, but getting there 1 inch at a time. And the point is, we're not expecting perfection, okay? Nobody is going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Cyrus isn't perfect. We don't think you're going to be perfect. But that doesn't mean that you can't get extraordinary results. Look at what happened to this woman's numbers here. I mean, it's fantastic. And this is somebody who's very scared to go to the doctor, anxious, huge change in total cholesterol, below 150. Her triglycerides are below 150 and major drop in her A1C. So that's fantastic. Another person here, this person was taking cholesterol medication, blood pressure medication, 4 total diabetes medications, Januvia, Victoza, insulin, and metformin, and got everything taken away except for metformin. And it was in a pretty short period of time as well. So A1C reduction, again, another example of somebody applying these principles, following what is taught in the DIY program, and getting great results. This woman is celebrating after 9 months. Big change in blood pressure, important change there. A1C in the non-diabetic range, 6.7. That's type 2 diabetes, 5.0 non-diabetic. Significant weight loss, and she is using less insulin. So just like it says on the screen, this program will improve your cardiovascular health like wildfire. No questions asked. Here we have a bunch of people with some amazing diabetes changes. So you see here on A1C, this person started running like 5 miles, which is amazing. And they lost almost 50. They're about to lose 50 pounds, basically, which is incredible. And then on the right here, you have an A1C of 7.1 to 5.3. That is fantastic and ready to get off medications. Here we have, in both of these testimonials here, these are results that happened in just 3 weeks. So this woman saw her fasting blood glucose drop from 168 to below 100. And the person on the right, their insulin got cut in half. They lost about 9 pounds, and they cut their insulin in half in just 3 weeks. So when you follow the DIY program step by step, you can expect to get results pretty darn quickly. You really can. And again, it's designed to be done 1 step at a time. It's designed to not be overwhelming so you can get the results you're looking for. In this testimony on the left here, the person had an incredible drop in their cholesterol, and the doctor was amazed, couldn't believe it. You're just a great example. And then we have another person on the right, A1C is 5.6, non-diabetic, lipids are improving, fantastic results. So what do you actually receive in this program? Again, you get the digital step-by-step online course with PDF handouts. You're going to get some exclusive recipes to get you started, pro tips for shopping and saving time and money when it comes to acquiring your food, great pro tips to help you save time when preparing food. So we go into detail on that, navigating social situations. And, again, when it comes to preparing food, doing things in bulk, but making sure it's delicious, that's key. We cover that, how to achieve your ideal body weight. And we talk about, again, the fun game of not eating food. And there's a lot of details when it comes to intermittent fasting, and there's a lot of confusion out there. So you want to do that properly to get the best results. And of course, at Mastering Diabetes, we're all about maximizing insulin sensitivity, and we absolutely guarantee that in our program. So here's the special offer for you guys. So if Cyrus or Jose can launch the link for people to click to get to, you go to this page, you enter in the discount code HEART when you go to the checkout page, and you can save 33%. So you can have all of this for a simple option of 3 payments of $39, or you can just buy it straight out and pay 1 payment of $99. That's your best option. That'll save you the most money, and you'll be saving $50 when you select that option. So you just click the link that we have in the lower right corner, enter the disc that you pick which one you want, the payment plan or the one-time payment, and then you, in the lower right corner, if you're on a computer or if you're on a mobile device, you look for that box that says discount code, you enter in HEART, all capitalized, and then you will get this discount. So we're only offering this for you guys on the webinar, and it's going to end on Sunday night. So you're going to want to act quickly to take advantage of this. And like I said, we guarantee this. We guarantee this is going to work, and we stand by with a money back guarantee, an action takers guarantee. If you do the homework, so again, the program clearly shows you what to do, how to do it, how to fill out decision trees, why they're so valuable. If you fill them out, you submit 14 days of completed decision trees, and you show that it didn't improve what you were looking to improve, then we'll just give you a full refund. No questions asked. We only want happy people. We only want people who have gotten results and saw a lot of value in it. And if that doesn't happen for you, then you get your money back. So it's essentially no risk opportunity here. It's guaranteed to work. And if it doesn't work for you, we'll give you your money back. So click the link, go to the page, select whether you're going to do the payment plan or whether you're going to just pay for it in full and own it for life right away. Save $50 by doing that option. Enter the discount code HEART, and you will have the DIY program for life. So if you guys have any questions about that, I will go to the chat box now and see what's happening there. So stop sharing. All right. So somebody says, please send the link to us by email if possible. So, all right, we can do that. I do also want to say, if there's anybody here tonight who is saying, you know what, I need that personal touch. I need that one-on-one support, whatnot. If you were interested in that, that's something you feel like you need, you can email us. You can email team@masteringdiabetes.org, and we can talk to you about that. But this is our most affordable option, and you get started right away. And if you follow the instructions one step at a time, you will get the results. You will get the same results that people have gotten who've paid thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's up to you to take action. It's up to you to use this affordable resource, and I highly suggest you take advantage of this offer to save 33%. So definitely get started today if you're ready. Look, we have 171 people here, 171 of you guys, okay? And I mean this so sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Like, we are here doing this because we want you guys to get the results. All we want is to be publishing more and more success stories of you. We want you to live your best life, live the dream, and we want to share with others, and we want to debunk the myths that are happening in the world of diabetes health, the world of cholesterol, LDL. We want it to work for you. So if you are here and you've been to other webinars and you've heard this information, but you still are struggling with one condition or another that we've shown you that we can solve, write yes in the chat box. Like, let's just be honest and vulnerable here. Like, you've heard our information, you've been here before, but your weight is still higher than you want it to be. Your cholesterol is still higher than you want it to be. Your A1C, I think I might have already said that, but your A1C is too high. You're using more medications than you want to be using. Just be honest with me right now. It's a smaller group of us now, okay? We're like a little more personal here, okay? Write yes in the chat box if you are in that boat. You're not taking action on the information that you have heard previously, okay? I got 3 people that said yes. So, if you're in that boat, take this opportunity to grab this program while you have a chance to save some money, and let's get started today. Like, let's do this. We've put this together in a way that works, in a step-by-step way that works, that's manageable, that helps you through the biggest challenges that I'm sure many of you have run into, and that may have prevented you from getting the results that you're looking for. So take the chance to do it, okay? Get started tonight. Like, don't wait. The link is there, the discount's there. Enter the code HEART, and you will you'll be happy you did. Linda's saying it does work. Thank you, Linda, for sharing that. If anybody else wants to encourage people who are on the fence right now, go ahead and do it in the chat box. I mean, just tell people about your experience. So we want you guys to see the results. That's what we care the most about. So we hope that happens for you. Now, if there are some questions that I can answer, let me try and do that. So, I'm not going to. Anyways, if anybody wants to, we're still here. We got 159 people. You can type a question, and I will do my best to answer it. And we'll see what we can do. All right. I'm actually not seeing that many questions. So, and again, I do want to emphasize, this program also has new videos. Somebody's asking, how is this different? Well, I mean, this is our brand new course. We a lot of the information. So we're really proud of what we've put together and the information and all the PDFs and the handouts and the recipes. So we're excited about it. So that's kind of like the big difference. And you can get started and check it out. Somebody's asking, is edamame a green light food? So edamame is actually, we put that in the yellow light category simply because it's a higher in fat. So edamame is the whole form of soy. So tofu, tempeh, those are just a little bit more processed. But it's still 40% of calories coming from fat. And it's quite easy to eat too much of that and then exceed our guidelines for the fat limit. So we're trying to get people to eat no more than 30 grams of total fat per day, or a maximum of 15% of calories coming from fat per day. So if you eat edamame, you can easily exceed that. So, but again, it's a great food. It's healthy. Lots of research has shown how beneficial edamame can be. So yellow light foods, we're not telling you to just not eat, avoid. We're telling you to be careful about how much you're having. Just be cognizant of how much you're having, but still go ahead and include them in your program. So I hope that is helpful. And let's see here. What else can I answer? Linda's showing how her A1C is going down. That's great. Okay, well, I think we'll probably wrap it up here. Let's see. If you have emails, if you have questions, you can email us, team@masteringdiabetes.org. Again, I'm sorry, guys, for the technical glitches we had tonight. We're going to figure that out, make sure it doesn't happen next time, and we will catch you later.